was a great basketball game. If you don't understand how good basketball is in the state, and I don't know where you've been. Terrific game by both teams. I thought obviously we was a little overwhelmed the first half and settled in the second half. So very proud of our effort the second half.
Coach, you turned them over 8 times in the second half, only 4 times in the first half. What was going right defensively in the second half?
Well, we were able to make shots and then mix up our defenses. We struggled with scoring the first half and wasn't able to mix up defenses. But I thought once we settled in and scored offensively, it allowed us to switch up our defenses.
Seemed like you had a lot of success doubling them down low. What was?
Well, we tried. I mean, they're so good. They're good inside, they're good outside. They do a terrific job of passing the ball and making the extra pass. So we really tried to switch up where the double was coming from, and we even tried fronting sometimes. We just tried to keep them off balance.
Maya, only 2 points in the first quarter, 28 for the rest of the game. What was the mindset shift for you?
Like she said, we just needed to settle in the second half. A little bit of jitters. I mean, we were playing in front of 16,000 people. We just settled in and took care of the basketball, and shots were falling.
Maya, how do you keep your composure in a situation like that? You guys don't play in front of 16,000 people very often, so what was that like in the second half?
Because of her. I mean, she was a great point guard herself, and she always tells us poise, poise, poise. So that's what was going through my head, and just believing that we could win. We fell short, but going into conference play, we had momentum.
Coach, what's different about this Iowa team compared to the last 4 years? Everything kind of ran through Caitlin, but just scouting them. But what are some differences that you guys saw?
Well, the thing about Caitlin is, and I do have to talk about her because I think she made everyone around her better. She did a terrific job of putting people in position to score. She knew when to take over and when to get everyone else involved. And what you have now is you have a team that I still think they're learning each other a little bit, but Lucy does a terrific job. I think O'Grady's done a terrific job, and then you got Feuerbach who does a little bit of everything, and then I mean they're just well connected offensively. They can score inside out. You have McCabe who can shoot 3, and then Stokey does what Stokey does. She facilitates a lot more than she did a year ago. But she's a beast in the post. They're just really good offensively because of their ability to score inside out.
Coach, for people like me who don't get to see you much, if ever, is this what we saw from Maya and Kayla tonight indicative of their careers? Does it symbolize who they've been?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she's one of the best guards in the country. I mean, hands down. She probably didn't get recruited high enough coming out of high school because of her size, but you can't measure heart. This kid can score on all 3 levels. And Kava's one of the best 2-point shooters in the country. She was 6th in the country a year ago, and coming into this, she was 4th or 5th. So those two do a terrific job of working off of each other, and Kava did a great job of putting the basketball on the floor tonight, not only just shooting the 3. So I'm glad I get to coach him.
Maya, what was the key to the second half comeback? Why were you guys able to close the gaps?
Last year we were down to Murray State 20 plus, so we knew we could do it. We just got to believe. During halftime she came in and we just needed to settle in, and shots were finally falling in the second half, and we just believed that we could, so we did it.
I guess for you guys, what was the key to not rush? Because you talked about how she talked about poise, but it just seemed like you guys were very comfortable running your stuff, whether it be through you or getting Kava open. I mean, how were you guys able to just kind of stay relaxed and stay with the process?
We like to say house money. I mean, we were just so composed the second half. We had nothing to lose, and like you said, we were composed, and that just all runs through our coaches believing in us and putting confidence in us. And the second half, we just had to have confidence in ourselves, and that goes a long way.
I'd like to hear from both of you on this. How important is this rivalry, this series to be playing? Because women's basketball is one of the very few sports where you get to see UNI versus Iowa every single year. How big is it to keep this series going?
Well, I think for the state, you can't put it into words. The fact that Iowa State and Iowa both will play us. But when you look at the coaches, and all coaches are from the state. All coaches know the importance of high school basketball in the state. And when you look at the rosters, a lot of high school kids are on our rosters. So it's important for everyone. Like I said, all 4 state schools are really, really good. really good. And it's not very often that you don't see a good game. So, and the fact that all the coaches are from this area and have a lot to do with the high school level in terms of how we recruit. We recruit in-state out. And that's a credit to the young kids that come up wanting to play for the 4 state schools.
Curious. Oh, go ahead, Maya. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, piggybacking off of that, I have teammates that play on Drake, Iowa State, Iowa. So I had AU teammates, and I mean, it's fun seeing them out there. I cheer for them, but it's also fun playing against them. And yeah, we're just all really competitive coming from the state of Iowa.
I'm curious what the second half is going to do in terms of momentum for you guys moving into the conference season.
Well, hopefully it carries a lot of momentum. Obviously, we want them to go home and be with their families and enjoy Christmas, but they also understand that there's some work to be done. We now begin our second part of our season, and we put together a tough non-conference schedule for that reason. So we'll definitely be battle tested, but we're excited about the next opportunity.
Just to build on that, Maya, when you have the result you had against Iowa State and the one here tonight, what does that tell you about this team's prospects the rest of the way here?
Iowa State and Iowa are ranked, as they should be. Very, very good teams, very good players. And we know we can compete with them. Beating Iowa State earlier in the season and coming out here and showing that second half performance, we know we can compete with those teams. Yes, we might lack size, especially without Jibo, but we know we can compete with them.
You know, I want to say we've lost 6 games. 4 of those 6 losses are 1-possession games, and they're BCS schools. So we have a lot of talent in our locker room. We believe, and if we can stay healthy, you know, we believe we have a chance. So we're a very good program, and if you haven't noticed that by now, you probably figured it out today. Any other questions? Merry Christmas.
Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.